Hello? Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's enough for now. All right. So I'll just continue with this one. Over the last 20 years, I had the privilege to work amongst the most talented people in the design industry, ranging from the broadcast corporation, agencies of the record, financial houses, and media corporations, reaching the 700 million people across the propositions that was driven by the Joel Track Agile. All designers behind this proposition have one thing in common. They all have become an indispensable practitioner in my team, and they all were treated as a one-person talent in that organization. Why? Because they all understood Joel Track Agile contributes to building the contextually relevant products and services. Today, together, we will go through the set of foundation for your understanding and relationship between the Joel Track Agile and the design at scale. We will look at the practical practices, examples, how we as a designers knowledge under the Joel Track Agile, and more importantly, how we can accelerate our career through this framework. Every designer searching for the right answer, yet no one asking the right question. How long do we have to succeed? Trevor Mocicka, in his book, It Takes What It Takes, described the longevity and the resilience of the American football player preparing for the season. Your success as a designer depends on the one single release. You either make it or other will. Whether we are building the product or services, our ultimate game is to build the resilient and well-recognized brands. All our decisions in product landscape increases the value proposition of the brand and brand equity. Historically, all brands have been built through the linear integration. Great example will be Coca-Cola. One product distributed across the one nation. Through the growth of Coca-Cola in the 50s, expand their services for operation, delivery, advertising, print, and so on. With a new territory acquired, new agency and new staff arrived, bringing the organizational and operational overhead. With the dot-com era, we have recognized the power of the connected product and services and reached the era of the financial integrated brands. Apple, Google, or Atlassian understood that cloud solution will allow customers to fully enjoy advantages of the functionally integrated propositions and exponentially grow global marketplace. With the arrival of the exponential organization, all designers experience slightly shift in relationship to their roles and responsibilities. Moving between the organizations, we designers experience different teams, different models, different techniques, and combination of linear integrated businesses with the functional propositions. This brought a higher pressure on designer and the fragmented distribution of our roles. Our relationship with the business and engineering changed too. Early supportive teams often throw the work over the fence without ever knowing what has been delivered. Growing our understanding and connection with the business allow us to provide services on the side and reach the peripheral model. In some cases, almost 5 years later, we established a central design function and become fully integrated with the organization. Inevitably, this leads to the greater understanding and integration with our engineering colleagues and their evolving development structures. Few discover, define, develop, and deploy. If that sounds familiar, it is far from the double diamond. The naming is merely complementary. So what does all this mean for design? Over the last 20 years, all designers moved into these three categories: team of 1, team of 10, and team of 100. Designer team of 1 is usually individual contributor in a small and medium project, usually hunting for the next freelance gig. Designers in a team of 10, which probably will be the majority of you, is an individual contributor to design manager in a small and medium-sized business or organization developing the single product. Designers in a team of 100 could be individual contributors to design directors in an organization where design departments are bigger than 100 people. All scenarios are different, and each designer focuses on different set of tasks fulfill their role. Make no mistake, traveling between these environments is extremely difficult and often time-consuming. This brings us to dual-track Agile framework. In order to fulfill the mandatory requirements, all individual contributors are usually sent to the Scrum Alliance for the 3 hours Agile training, or Neiman's group for the obtain the expensive certificate. He is the track for the design, and he is the track for the development. When the design increment is delivered, it's passed on to when the design increment is delivered, it's passed on to the development. Good luck. What if I tell you there is another track? With the dual track Agile considers product delivery in 2 separate swim lanes. Initially, product was delivered as a business where design and development was a delivery track. Now, when the design function is moving more into the central proposition, therefore, it's considered as a part of the business track, aka product track. Either way, we tend to forget the main things. There will be always 3 parties for the product design development: Chief Product Officer, Chief Experience Officer, and Chief Technology Officer. Let's look at the proposition in detail. In the current map, you will see it's an end-to-end development cycle and proposition for the unit of 100+ designers. Vertically, we have a proposition shaping, mentioned in the previous talk, design shaping, design refinement, product delivery, show and tell, and product integration. Horizontally, we have kickoff, tools and methods, roles and responsibilities, timelines, definition of ready, definition of done, and handover. But wait, how does it work in my current workplace? Let's move to the integration. What if I told you that you were completely misled about the communication in a complex environment? The diagrams below suggest that more connection in any conversation often creates noise and prevents the clarity amongst the participants. That's right. I bet you have multiple channels of communication, no source of truth, more than one-to-one conversation across the multiple communication channels that you would prefer. Instead of hunting the messages across the several times of day on Slack, where is the latest presentation, let's establish one language and one location for everyone. That way, everyone in a space will get informed when the things change without ever lifting a finger. Welcome to Conference for Designers. I personally refer to it as a knowledge-based. It is defined focusing on definition and communicating the value proposition, design focusing on predominantly on a customer experience and design, and development focusing on end-to-end development. Let's break it down. In a business, we talk about Hello, business and research. Hello is collecting the ways of working, team structure, team routines, comms, and delivery agreements that often describes the design of DevOps. Business defines PIDs, project identification document, roadmaps, legal contracts, KPIs, and OKRs. Unify our research, not only competitive analysis, but also customer insights, brand marketing research, as well as a development and integration research in one single place. This brings us to the design. That is represented by the content, experience, and design. Content focusing of all the gathering contents across the proposition. User experience, it's of course about the experience map, information architecture, user journeys, personas. Design is looking at the brand marketing, motion guidelines, as well as the brand strategy utilized in a core design system. And finally, development, defined by the development, release, and integration. Development, looking at the releases, deployment, versioning, programming language, and so on. Release is the specific one. It's just the function. It's merely as a broadcasting the change in a release. And integration is about everything that's happened between your software and the hardware. The experience is guiding principle of the whole delivery. That's why it's in the center. It also allows you to move from the test-driven development, which was usually the main method, to behavior-driven development, equally transforming the business through the experience, design serving customers' needs, and reflecting on a constant evolving competitive landscape. This brings us to the Jira for designers, which has two parts. Design as a holistic experience cannot be constrained by the time. Therefore, we often use the Kanban as a for all the design tasks. Once we, designers, reach the DOR, definition of ready, our product owner can take the defined and well-documented increment into following development sprint. After correct prioritization and estimation, the increment is developed and deployed to UAT, where later reaching the definition of done. What these two words have in common? Regardless whether you choose the Kanban or Sprint for your delivery, all your tasks come from the backlog. As developers, as their stories written in a behavior-driven development format, we designers have our own. Designers focus on a discipline and outputs like user experience research, user experience, copy, UI, design system, and brand. Let's summarize each discipline driving specific outcome contributing to the BED story. You might now ask, so how does it all come together? From the bottom up, you probably start in Figma and document your feature in a Confluence alongside your colleague from the business and engineering. This is a knowledge-based foundation in Confluence that serves as a guiding principle for the proposition and design shaping. The knowledge base is consumed equally by the design and development Jira, reflecting on the changes in both swim lanes and building towards to the same candidate release. On the top, it's a Jira Atlas, which is an AI tool that reflects on both environments to build a comprehensive picture of the team or team of teams. Bringing everything together, development of your product or service. Now you might ask how do I sell this internally or enhance my career? In order to successfully integrate dual track Agile, any other method that is based on scale, which is Scrum at scale, design at scale, we need to adopt these four mindsets. Simply transparent. The greatest challenge of all modern businesses is transparency, which was mentioned in our first talk. The difference between the waste time. Even with the old structures, so linear development, by including 20% of the developer's time in the design sprint and 20% of design time in an integration part, we can catapult our team by 40% of saving in refactoring. This brings us to the contextually relevant. Bringing the team into one single workspace where tasks and deliverables are connected and including the history of change, increase the knowledge base of the team by 18%. Self-organized teams, on average, operating 33% faster than micro and overly managed team. Again, we've heard that in the first talk. And finally, adoption at scale, which is called a power of one, which is one of the first presentations in 2002 that we did in Silicon Graphics. And the premise is very simple. One language, one location, one team, and one product. Helping designers around the world deliver the work 25% faster than their operationally fragmented colleague. With the dual track Agile and design at scale, you will become better. Better designers solving the complex proposition in a constantly changing environment. Thank you. Oh, hold on, there is one more thing. I've mentioned Design at Scale. Designatscale.co, it's a website that you can go to right now, and you can see the Design at Scale methodology that has been patented in the UK, helping designers around the world to deliver the proposition. Everything that I mentioned in this talk, there is a great magazine with over 160 articles delivering in complex environments. There is also Design at Scale Academy that focusing on the 3 pillars: design a team of 1, team of 10, and team of 100. And finally, for those who love Figma, there is plenty of resources called supplies that you can download for your free use. And if you can keep the secret, we're opening the community before the end of the year for all designers in a complex environment. Thank you very much.